What's up, guys? This is MCpodcast, aka Meta Culture. This is Tanner, back at it again with the episode 4 review/reaction to Solo Leveling. I just gotta say, this was a banger episode. Like, for real. Like I said in the episode 3 review, this was really gonna question if Sung Jin-woo was gonna move forward and, try and progress in a better direction and test himself in a way where he can test his strength and his newfound abilities. And this episode really showed what he had. He went from somebody who could barely fight goblins to leveling up a bunch of times through this dungeon just because his perseverance really showed here. He really challenged himself. He wasn't like his prior self before, where he was a lot weaker and a lot more weak-minded, actually. So I think this episode really kind of accentuated his transition from like a weak-minded, weak physical aspect individual to somebody who's transforming into something stronger. And we really see his fruits of effort really come forward and really show results, because now not only can he fight back, but he can whoop ass with a big ass snake double the size of like a train. It was crazy. This episode had some amazing, and I mean amazing, animation. I know I've been talking about the animation for the past 3 episodes, but this is where it really came through in a fight where he's actually doing something in a sense and fighting back, and just every part of this episode was super interesting, super cool. You get to learn once again about how the ranking system goes with the name tags and such. White is something that he can beat. Orange is something that is at his level, and then red is something that's higher level than him. So you really see this episode, him literally grow right in front of your eyes, from struggling against the wolves and the goblins to now being able to fight them and beat them in packs and groups. And he slowly clears the dungeon, clearing out all the wolves and everything, and he finally gets to this boss room. And the boss room, he goes down a bunch of stairs down at the train station, and essentially it was a super sick kind of boss room where this huge serpent came down. And this is really where the mental kind of took over, where he wants to persevere, he wants to get stronger, and he's asked himself, if I had another chance, and this is his second chance at trying to retake, a better standpoint in life, because he's so used to being at the bottom, being so used to not being able to do anything whatsoever. So this really is going to show, given a chance, he's going to use it and try to get stronger and do whatever it takes to do so. So he challenged himself by coming down and facing the boss with the orange tag level. So essentially it's as strong as him. But honestly, throughout that whole fight, he was getting whooped. He was getting his ass whooped left and right. He was getting thrown around. I'm like, dude, how is this guy not dead? He legit was getting his ass beat. And that's kind of the whole point was, he was able to confront himself and really become stronger mentally and physically. But the biggest point of this dungeon was to grow mentally and really realize that, compared to the statues, compared to that double dungeon he faced, those monsters ain't shit, realistically. So he really took a stand and wanted to run the ones with the serpent, and it was really cool how it went down. There were some differences from the animation from the webtoon, but I think all in all, they did a great job of just transforming this episode, and it just was an amazing episode. So if you guys haven't seen it, you really need to go check it out. This episode was super sick, and I think this was one of the more important ones, because this is really where his mindset shifts to where, he's barely fighting against something to he's going to get stronger. He knows he's got to fight to get to that next level, to really push himself, because beforehand he wasn't doing that whatsoever. And this is going to set him above everybody else, is this work that he's putting in now. And the fact that he wants to go toe-to-toe, even if he can die in these situations, he can legit die in all these situations that he's been confronted with, but he still has that mental fortitude now to walk forward and still try to hang with all these bosses, and especially an E-rank boss. And when he walked out of that dungeon after beating the boss and leveling a bunch of times, he picked up a broken sword, threw it at some boss, and broke his shield immediately. And they were like, yo, who was that high-level hunter? So just this one E-rank dungeon really elevated his skill and his mental fortitude. And that's just going to keep bringing him to the next level and the next level. And the bosses are going to get cooler. The fight scenes are going to get even cooler. I'm just so excited for this season. I know I've said this in every review, but that just shows how good this show is and why so many people like it. So if you guys haven't given it a try, please do. If you're on this 4th review, then you've probably given it a try. And just stay tuned. It's only going to get better. And I'm just super excited for everything to come. This has been MC Podcast, aka Metaculture. We out.